All right, y'all. I believe that we are officially live. And welcome to Life Change Lounge. We are starting late. We never start late. We were talking earlier about coming from late families and how everything always started late. Man, this probably gets under my skin the most. It's starting late. But, technical difficulties because I am a little older than you guys. So,
Just a little.
wow, yeah, just a little bit, 1 or 2 years. I'm not gonna show you all the hair that's underneath this hat.
Call them out.
Yo, that's not necessary, all the crowd participation ain't necessary. But welcome to Life Change Lounge. You are here with me, Salo Ortiz, your host with Life Change Institute, trying to get rid of all these things on the camera so we can see. This is Life Change Institute and Life Change Lounge, where we highlight real life stories, real people in real time. And we're honored tonight that you guys took time to hang out with us. So I just wanted to tell you thank you. For those watching, this is our opportunity to highlight our scholarship winners. This is our second annual scholarship, and we were able to pay that out this year, or get to pay that out soon. But we were able to select our winners and have you guys just join us and talk about this. Life Change Lounge is something that we do every other month, and we just want to talk about 2 scripted questions, right? What was the life change event that happened in your life that kind of led to some of the things that kept moving around? So we'll talk about that. And then to me, life change means what? And that's how we'll end the show. We will go an hour, and we welcome the questions and comments from family, from friends, from people that are tuning in. We will field the questions. I'll get them texted to me, and I'll just shoot them out. But it's a very laid back time. So welcome, y'all.
Thank you for having us.
No doubt. Microphone is there if we need to speak up. Just make sure you broadcast your voice. Don't get, stage fright or camera shy, Just have a good time. So, you know who I am. You know what I'm about. Who do we got here? So I'll let y'all introduce yourselves. Let me hear name. Let me see, man. We were off camera, man. Before this, we were beefing about schools and this and that. So I want you to rep your name, your family, your school, whatever you want to say about you. I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it wide open. So who are you and something about you?
My name is Tatum Anderson. Some people call me Tati. I went to Maury High School. I'm going to NYU. What else do I say?
Yeah,
I
how
guess
old
that's
are you?
it.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 18.
Mm-hmm. NYU, cool. Thank you, Tatum. Welcome.
My name is Sean Bennett. I'm from Portsmouth, Virginia, but now I live in Hampton. 17 years old, and I'll be attending Hampton University.
Man,
Yeah.
Hampton all the way, huh? You wanted to stay local.
Not at first, actually. I wanted to go to North Carolina A&T at first, but
Nice.
their program was elementary in comparison to Hampton.
Yo, sorry, North Carolina A&T. Yeah, we still got love for you, I think. Thank you. Welcome, man. Who are you?
And I'm Jaden Smith. I'm from Portsmouth, Virginia, and I'm 17 too. And I'm going to Howard University, the real HU. And I'll be majoring in biology.
Man, that's cool. Cool, man.
Major.
Go ahead.
Oh.
What's your major
thank
gonna
you.
be?
My major officially is global public health with a concentration in biology on a pre-health track.
Why that sounds so smart? Like, why couldn't it just be communications? Like,
Sounds like a 4.5 to me.
yeah, man, that's crazy. Okay, what's your major gonna be?
Strategic communications.
Strategic communications, not just regular communications.
Yeah.
Strategic.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
man. You
sure
guys.
see it.
So, all right. So, I can imagine that you have a lot of family that were maybe excited that you got school money, right? I mean, how did that go? Like, were they like, why are you applying to this scholarship? Or they,
They were like, a lot of my different family members were sending me different scholarships. My aunt actually sent me this one to apply for it. A lot of them just have been pitching in to apply to this, apply to that, apply to that.
Cool.
'Cause how it's pretty pricey.
Good, yeah, yeah, it ain't no joke. All the schools, honestly, are pricey, whether it's community college or not. So, how about you guys? How did you learn about this?
Yeah, my school, on their webpage, they have a list of scholarships, and all the guidance counselors at my school were really encouraging on applying to different scholarships on the website. And so one day I was like, I should probably start doing a little something. And so I looked up there and I found this scholarship, and I thought it was descriptive of me and something that I can talk about and something I can relate to. And so I decided to apply.
That's cool. I love it. I love it. And you were just kind of chilling and it just showed up on your ads, on your feed or something?
It wasn't even like that. My stepdad brought it to me. He was like, you should apply for this. I I was like, another essay.
Another essay, exactly.
But took a chance, applied for it.
Yeah.
Now I'm here, so.
You didn't have to write the essay. We were talking about this earlier. You could have done the video.
He said do
You
that.
really good.
Oh, so were you trying to make him happy, see? Uh-huh. Could have done the video.
I did it for him. If it was for me, I would have got right in
Gotcha.
front of the camera and just started talking.
Could have. Could have
Tell
done
you how
that.
my life changed. How you
Exactly. So look, for everybody watching, as y'all tuning in, or even later on, please send us the information or questions, comments. I'll make sure that we reach out to you guys on socials. You'll get to plug all that later. I told you there's 2 scripted questions, 2. So we'll start off the rip with the first one. Life change moment, right? For me, my life change moment. What brought you to this position? I talked about, how you found the scholarship. What made you Tatum, you said like this spoke about me. So what was the life change moment that you were kind of thinking about that said, yo, this is about me? And for all of you guys, like you could talk about the one event or something that brought you to want to get to go to college, any sort of life change moment like that. What was it for you guys?
So I remember reading the description of the what you guys kind of wanted us to write about,
Mhm.
what the essay and the scholarship were about, and it said it was for like a change in your academics and life and everything.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't really think they want to hear about how I went from a 3.9 to a 4.5. But
I mean, why not? I never went from a
like,
3.9 to
but-
4.5. I want to know how that happened.
But
I thought
what
4 was the max.
What I do have is what I wrote about in my essay is nature versus nurture,
Mhm.
and how
Mhm.
my background, I come from a low income family.
Mhm.
My mom graduated college 3 years ago,
Mhm.
so I haven't had the best of backgrounds. I mean, I
Wow.
grew up in Colonial Place.
Wow.
But it was more so in my nurture or more so in my nature of being me and wanting to do the best for myself academically to
Yeah.
get out of a situation and have more for myself in life. And that's a part of me leaving Virginia for school is finding what's more for me out there.
Yeah, yeah. Knowing that there's more to the world, right? And I'm picking on Sean because he stayed in Hampton Roads, but knowing that this is a good opportunity for you to test out a lot of different things and learn, fail if you need to, but learn from those things and just see what else is out there. And even going from Portsmouth to Hampton, right? Like to be able to stretch.
Yeah.
So that's cool. What about you guys? Life change moment or why? We're
Uh,
gonna rock, paper, scissors
Before
it
we
out.
started, you were like, oh, I'm
I'll
gonna end
go
up talking
first.
first.
Mine was in the middle school years. My dad was arrested, and during the court case, he was served with a life sentence. But during the court case, at the end of it, the federal judge he hit me with I was destined to be just like him. So that's when
Yo, the judge said that?
yes, federal judge. He said I'm destined to be just like him. So that's when I was on go mode. Like I'm gonna prove him wrong. I'm gonna turn up. I was already doing good in middle school, but
Yeah.
that just when I get in high school next year, it's
Wow.
just gonna be a whole new
Wow.
thing.
Flex
And I
your
did
GPA? Flex your
4.52.
Yo,
and
Yeah.
are these even
Awesome.
possible?
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
real numbers.
Yeah.
Church High School.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There we go.
This ain't even possible. Like, man, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So and does that still drive you?
Yeah, it does, and a lot. And I actually sent him a ticket to my graduation
Really?
where I did my
Really?
valedictorian address.
Wow. Did you get a response?
Solid.
Okay.
Do you know?
Wow, man. That's Jaden, that's huge, man. And it's hard because with a story like that, like the thing is it could drive you out of anger, it could drive you out of fear, it could drive you out of a lot of different things. Why is it that motivated you? Why did that make you really turn it up to the next level academically?
I don't know. I don't like when people tell me I can't do something or they
Mhm.
put a label on me based on other things. I just was
Mhm.
like, all right, bet.
Mm-hmm.
Lock in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know,
Wow.
I mean, the thing is too, because you guys are young, right? You're still 17, right? Like, you've got the next 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years that you have to keep doing that. And you all do, right? And so it's real passionate at 17, but it doesn't stop, That's something that we as the older generations get to tell you, right? Like, the fire still has to keep going at my age, So that's cool. Good for you.
I respect that.
Why did you, what was the life change moment? What was the life change sort of college-wise or wanting to do this college thing?
College-wise, I would say junior year, I definitely was in a real low place. I didn't really want to go to college.
Mm.
I was questioning do I want to go to college or what do I want to do in my life? I didn't know what I wanted to do for
Yeah.
real. So I would spend, cause it was virtual for most of us during
Right,
the year. So
right.
like we would just sit in the house and like I would just sit in front of that computer and I would go to sleep and wait for the next class
Yep.
just to go back to sleep
Yep.
again. So it's like, you know, it's nothing filling me in on what I really
Yep.
want to do in my life. I was
Yep.
just going through the days.
Yep.
And then senior year comes, we're back in person, and I finally meet my TV and media teacher.
Mm.
Shout out to Mr. Price.
Shout out Price.
And he just took me in. He took me under his wing. He was like, you know what I'm saying, you special. You got a talent. You got a knack for this, and you don't even know it.
Mhm.
And so after this, like I just started to pick up on things, and like I
Mhm.
became a lead talent on the morning show, and
Cool.
like I led most of our productions, directed music videos for us, the media videos.
Mhm.
So yeah, I did a lot of directing. That
Do you,
was-
so you like more behind the camera, or do you like in front of the camera, or both?
Both.
Yeah.
Because it's situations where like I'll be directing a video for us, and like I'll be like, let me just insert this in so they know who directed it, just so they know. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta
So,
get my name out there.
yeah.
I got to just
Exactly.
slide that in.
And like same thing I told my teacher. I was like, if I didn't have to go to college for this, I probably wouldn't. But it's college is gonna put me in a position where I could really flourish from it. So
Yeah.
it's like I might as well go for it.
So look, so a lot of the conversation recently has been that that young people should take a year to try to figure it out themselves and grow up. The other part of it, because somebody spoke about being an entrepreneur, wanting to really start a business and doing all those things. There's a lot in the entrepreneurial circles that say, leave college alone because you ain't made for school, you're made for business and creating. So why college? You didn't have to do college. Yeah, it's good to get money for college. Yeah, it's good to get a degree. I 100% agree with that. But you ain't have to. You ain't have to.
I talk about this with my dad weekly.
Weekly.
Literally, we have this conversation very often, and it all comes down to, I mean, it also my career field. You can't go to med school without,
Mhm.
you know, a degree.
Right.
But it's it's also being black and being
Mhm.
a woman, or
Mhm.
being there's stereotypes against
Right.
us, and if there comes down to a white man who has no college degree and a black man that has no college degree, they're always going to go with the white man. This is where the degree is where our power resides, because in their minds it's engraved in society
Yeah.
that they just think black people are dumb.
Right. That's a difficult reality for you guys coming up as so young, right? To see a lot of these things, because times are changing for sure, but you're right, the degree, the letters behind your name, all these sort of things do speak a lot. And we wish that things were balanced and fair, but they're not. They're not. And here's more so, medical or communications wise, or right, like the fields that you guys are going into really would dictate whether somebody needs to have a degree or not, right? So do you need to have a degree in the field that you're working in? You don't have to go to school for communications to be behind the camera and be a bomb director.
You don't. There's people like Cole Bennett, who's a very big inspiration, I'd say.
Mhm.
He's directed some of the top music videos of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has a whole production
Yeah.
company behind it. Like
Yeah.
he's so good at it that people told him to start directing movies.
Yeah.
So like that's one person I definitely take big inspiration from. He definitely didn't go to college for that.
Yeah. I mean, because it wasn't really, and when I read some of you guys' stories too, it's not a big deal in some of the families, right? Like, family history-wise, education is not necessarily elevated, right? I'm the first to go to college, you know, to finish a 4-year degree, finish a master's in mine. I've got siblings who've got degrees, for sure, my parents now, right? But it wasn't really pushed.
As far as like my parents, it wasn't really available to them when they were my age. So like both of them, my mom and my dad, from where he's at, they're both big like motivators for me, and they're like keeping me on the right path. Especially my dad, he's gonna make sure like.
Yeah, man, that's huge. That's really cool. It's cool that you value the education. Now, it'd be interesting to see how much you value it after your freshman year. After you start, right? No, for real. And we talked about that with past winners. We're gonna do this. We're gonna have a kind of return and tell us how it's going sort of interview. But it'd be good to see, can you keep that value, that drive again through the entire time? You know? So what do you want to do ultimately when you grow up? What do you want to be? I mean, I get the degree, I get the whole directing or whatever. What do you want to do with this?
Help people.
How?
I feel like incorporating what I want to actually do in the medical field, and then still being like a representation in my community, going back to help kids who are like came from places that I came from, so they don't. Okay, I went on the right track, but somebody else might not go on the right track from with the hands they were dealt.
Fair. Okay. What about for you guys? What do you want to do with this?
Well, me personally, on the long road, probably started a production company of my own. That way I can have like people under me who can, you know what I'm saying, learn from me the same way I learned from Mr. Price. And as far as that goes, I can take that anywhere, honestly. I can make that global, so I definitely want to end up doing that in the long run.
Good. How about for you?
I feel like my answer is a little more open-ended. I know there's so many routes I can take it in. If I just want to go with this global public health degree, I could, you know, try to work for, you know, the government or like the CDC or the World Health Organization. But I do want to take Spanish with me wherever I go. And so perhaps Doctors Without Borders, we'll see where things go. My mentor, we had like EBMS mentors. And she spoke French because she was Moroccan, and so she like went overseas.
Yo, y'all can see out here like, are you serious right now? Like, you got 7 languages?
So she spoke French, and she like went overseas for a while, and she was like doing research in French and like helping people because there were a limited amount of French speakers at UVMS. And so I think that would be something cool to do in Spanish. Obviously, still help my own community because. Growing up in Norfolk, there's a disproportional amount of, you know, poverty and lower class students and students who don't get the same attention, and I think that really affects it. And I've seen in the classroom, like, I don't like seeing my peers struggle when they don't have to, and it's because it's a faulty of many reasons. And so I have a busy future.
No doubt, you all do. I mean, you all do, and that's what inspires us as, you know, kind of, you know, the older folks, is being able to say like, man, you guys got drive, you got determination, you do have somewhere you can go, and that's the beauty of what we do with Life Change, with the scholarship and all those sort of things. And just to sit down and chop it up, we would have never really, we may have crossed paths, but we never had a reason to cross paths without this, right? So it's really cool to make that opportunity happen.
Wouldn't have met Jaden Smith.
My man. Yo, she been going in on me inside. For Jaden, I love it, man.
She been waiting to say that.
Oh, yo, and on camera too, man. She just waited.
She's like, all right, here.
And because she know you ain't gonna be able to say what you want to say, right? Like, that's the thing. Look, here's what I want to know, y'all. Who set that tone for you? Like, who modeled that for you? You guys have a drive to want to set a different image for Black and brown folks, right? You have a drive to get out of issues that you came through. We don't often have that model to us, right? So school was valued. I mean, that was good, but it was my parents are immigrants, right? So my parents said, you know, you go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer, and that's it, not a social worker, right? Like, we don't know what a social worker is. So who modeled this drive and determination to want to do something different for you?
I mean, I owe at least 75% of my success to my Aunt Vicky. Shout out to you. She,
Vicky, what up?
from a young age, when I tell you, she will not let anyone not know that she went to Stanford and Columbia. Like, I'm sorry. No.
There's more.
My
Just wait on it.
Oh my gosh, my family's so split down the middle. My dad's side of the family, they grew up with a little bit of money, you know. And my dad and my aunt and my uncle, they all had, you know, a better childhood than on my mom's side, and so I think they got a lot more, they got to see more of the world, and they have more to pass down on to me, advice-wise, education-wise, and I mean, I've had her on my side. She reads every essay I write. That's cool. She gives me every educational advice. Cool. Like, I don't know where I would be without somebody on my shoulder telling me, even though I don't always want the advice she gives me, but it always.
But it always pans out and always seems to help, right? And reluctantly, you're like, all right, thank you.
Exactly. I'll be like, all right, cool, bye. Like, I hang up on the phone sometimes. But
see,
when I
tell
you,
today,
I needed that. And I honestly don't know where I would be without that role model in my life. Cool. Because both my parents, you know, great people. Right. Awesome people. Right. But it's, I don't know, we connect on a different level.
But it's cool to hear the passion. It's cool to hear the emotion that you have. Like, this is why I wanted to ask this, because I want to hear that raw, sort of like unfiltered, like, yo, this person really did something, spoke to me. And it doesn't always have, it's not that you had bad parents. It's not that you had bad people around. Like, I don't want to give that story. It's just that this one person seemed to really stand out. And that's really cool. Who was it for you guys? You had somebody right away. Like, as soon as I said it, you were like,
Yeah. Well, from what perspective? Like,
you take it, whatever you want.
because we're talking about like with the film and media and stuff, then I would say, of course, I'm surprised. But like, if we're saying like as far as just wanting to be something, then I say myself.
Where'd that come from? You yourself. He looked in the mirror and said, I'm gonna tell myself.
Because like, I mean, I've always had people in my life that would motivate me and like be like, oh, you know, you can do this, you can do that, and at the end of the day, it's like that's all gonna fall on me. Whatever they tell me is just word of mouth.
Right.
I agree with
Actions are
Right.
all, you know what I'm saying?
But you've told yourself a lot of things other than just succeed, right? Because we
Yeah.
know this, right? I was there a long time ago, right? But we look at ourselves and we tell ourselves, yo, you can do it. But we also tell ourselves a lot of other things. Why did you give more attention to you talking in the mirror and the reflection to say, yo, you can make it, right? Why did that win over everything else?
Because at one point I would look in that mirror and I wouldn't see who I was now. I would see somebody who was at a way lower spot and, you know what I'm saying, didn't know what they want to do with their lives. So I was like, I want to make myself be able to look in the mirror and say, that's who I am. You know, for a long time I didn't know who I was looking at in the mirror. I just was there, just drifting. So once I, you know what I'm saying, got a hold of myself, I was like, all right, time to shake off the dust, get back on the grind. And I realized what I want to do. I was like, oh, that's who that is in the mirror. That's that guy. That's literally, honestly, if I'm keeping a whole buck with you, that's what made me get this first tattoo, which says main character, because like that's what like once I got the tattoo, it was like I started to live that way, and that was my own way of motivating myself. Like, I wake up every morning, I'm like, that's who I am.
Yep.
I'm the main character of the story, so I'm gonna keep living like
Good
that.
for you.
But when you really think about it, it's like there are people who are given everything on a silver platter. There are people who have all the great influences around them and still don't amount to their fullest potential because it's up to you to make of life what it is and be who you want to be.
It really
Nobody
is.
else can hand it to you.
So again, the thing that sets you apart, and that I hope that, I mean, I get, we're on Facebook Live, this will be on our YouTube, this will be a lot of different places, but I hope that young people can hear that you can have that drive early, because oftentimes what we hear, us folks that have been working with young people for a while, is that, well, we got time before we get that mindset. You guys grabbed it early, right? 17, 18 years old, and you grabbed that drive early, rather than waiting until you're 22, 25, right, 30. That was cool. And so I hope that you can recognize that even if you look in the mirror and inspire yourself, somebody's looking at you for inspiration as well. And you do stand the opportunity to inspire somebody as well. Somebody has a 4-year-old sister that bugs the hell out of them. What was it? Yeah.
Mine is 3 years.
Right? And yours is 3, right? So somebody's looking up at you. Somebody's saying, so it's good that you inspire yourself, but somebody's looking at you as well. Somebody in your hood, somebody in your family, somebody around your way. For sure.
That's absolutely.
And that's important for you to keep in mind, because I'll tell you, it's worth the fight, but it's gonna be a dog fight for y'all. So that's cool.
I think that for the most part, the people that are looking up to you that you wouldn't expect to be the people who you've always had around you, like that are around your age. Those friends that you've been with for the last 10+ years. They're the ones who really look at you and be like, "Dang, he's gonna be something. I might as well get on mine." Because like, I still go back to, you know what I'm saying, the neighborhood that I'm from in Portsmouth all the time, and I go back to my grandmother's neighborhood because I was always out there. And that's where my friends are. So I go out there, you know what I'm saying, show those, talk to them or whatever, and like, I can just see it in them. They're like, because I mean, and
it'll be two types. It'll be two types. It'll be the ones that really look up and they're inspired. It'll be the ones that say, man, I can't keep up, and so they fall off. Exactly. And you're gonna have to learn to deal with the emotions of the ones that can't ride with you. Not everybody can ride with you.
I totally agree, and I think that with how life has been going lately, I've been able to mature and understand that it's either they'll grow with me or you gotta cut their branch.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I think, I'm sorry.
No, you got it.
I was just gonna say the coolest thing I've experienced in the past couple years, because I've always been on like the school grind, but in the past 2 years with quarantine and stuff is when I really started getting super active and doing things. And I think the coolest thing I've experienced is my friends coming up to me and saying like, like, you're really inspiring me, like, I can't believe what you're doing. I never thought,
Yep.
cause I'm thinking everyone around me doing their own thing, and they're like,
Right.
no, I'm looking at you, and I'm
Right.
like, whoa.
Right.
You'll be
That's the thing that you guys don't realize. A lot of us, we don't recognize that there's people watching us and that we just keep our head down and just keep grinding and keep doing it. But people are watching, and that's really cool. Because we want to assume that everybody's about the same business, and they're not. And not everybody has the same drive. And your stories are rough, but not everybody has that sort of go after and go get it. That's cool. So look, we're doing Life Change Lounge. I'm just telling everybody, if they're tuning in now or later, please send the questions in the comments. These guys will field any questions. We're gonna put them on the spot and we'll keep going. So, who inspired you to do this?
Me? Mine would be my aunt that sent me this one. She sent me all of them. Actually, every single one that I've applied for and one, she always sends it to me. But she came from the same background as me, same situation, low income family, and all this. And has 4 more months until she gets her doctorate. And I'm like, okay,
That's
all
cool.
right, she's the only one in our family that did that. So it's like, okay, that's what I'm looking up to.
That's really cool.
And for the last conversation about the inspiring,
Yeah.
after I did my speech at graduation, so many people from my class texted me, was like, oh, you inspired me. What you said was so powerful. And I was like, oh, like I didn't think that
Yeah.
would have that impact. And then so many people's parents also text
Yep.
me and contacted
Yep.
me like, oh, I don't know you, you don't know me, but thank you
Yep.
for this. I'm like,
Yep.
okay.
So what does that feel like when you? Because I've been there, but what does that
Right.
feel like? What do you
I
think
was
when
really
that
proud
happens?
of myself, proud of
Yeah.
it all.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is. Like, it really is.
Yeah.
I say it's definitely a lot of pressure because, like, with me being the head of production and stuff, I would be on the front screen. I would have to represent the school a lot
Yep.
of times.
Yep.
If, like, the state would come in, or I remember
Yeah.
there was this one time where, like, 40 different states came in just to check in on our
Wow.
school. And so the main place they stopped was the production area or whatever. So, like, Mr. Price just told me, he pulled me to the side before we started. He's like, look, I need you to put a show on. I was like,
you were like, game time, let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, you know, like, and it was funny because, like, I was the first stop for them.
Yep.
So I'm in front of the green screen
Yep.
and I'm just going through the
Yep.
motions. I'm like, oh, this is every day for me.
Yep.
So I'm like, since just going through the motions or whatever. And it was funny because after they left the production room and, went around the rest of the school, they called Mr. Price the next day and they were like, that one kid in the green, he really is something
Yep,
special. And
that's cool.
So stuff like that.
That's cool.
definitely is-
And listen, it's good to people will often confuse it with like arrogance or sort of this cockiness, but it's good to be recognized for something that you've done good, something that you've done well. Oftentimes, it's such a competitive world, it's such a competitive sort of neighborhood family that we may come from that we don't like to sing other people's praises. But I'm proud of you for being able to say, yo, somebody recognized you for something good you did, right? And that's really cool. You should enjoy that. And we should learn to appreciate that and then pass that along to somebody else. So here's the question. While the questions may, hopefully, come on, somebody send me something. But who do you think's looking up to you? I know we got the little siblings. Leave them out. Who do you think is looking up? Because we said people are watching you.
My whole family actually, like everybody. I have little cousins that are like middle school on the transition to high school right now, and they're doing the same. I did a early college program where I graduated from TCC before high school with the associates, and they're doing the same qualifications that they have to do to get into that program, the accelerated start. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So the rest of the family, who else? Cousins, who else? Who's looking up to y'all that you think?
You go.
I don't know. The only people I can think of is like, like I said before, friends definitely. But I would say like some of my friends, like younger siblings, being like, hey, like my little sister really wants to go to NYU, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool, and like, okay,
It's so messed up.
Y'all
They've been
are
doing this the
so-
entire night, y'all. It's so funny.
Okay,
Y'all a
Jaden
mess.
Smith.
Oh.
See, they just rip it.
But I think that's really cool, like
Yeah.
having.
Not
people
just
that
your
I
friends, but
don't-
friends' siblings, right?
Yeah, like I feel like the most unexpected people, like you never really know who's
Yeah.
watching you. And
Yeah.
I didn't speak at graduation, but I had to, I did like the little, on the big screen, I
Yeah.
had to like do the introduction in Spanish, and so
Wow, that's cool.
there was a lot of people who were like coming up to me after graduation, or like, like I had some people like call my dad and be like, oh my god, I see Tatum up there. He's like, yeah, but
Of
you
course.
you never know.
No, it's true. You never know. Who's looking up to you? Do you know? Like, can you tell or?
Well, you know, I couldn't compete with them.
I mean, look,
It's
I
not
can't even,
competition.
at this point, I can't even, you know, but.
Yeah, they got it. But
Never competition.
one thing I will say is the people who are looking up to me would be the underclassmen at my school.
Mm.
Because
Mhm.
they oftentimes would see me as like,
Mhm.
dude, like you got it together. You're
Yeah.
doing this. You're going to college for this. Like you do. You know what I'm saying? You kind of do what you want. And I
Yep.
was just like,
Yep.
you can too.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard. You just
Yeah.
gotta stay. You know what I'm saying?
I think that
focused.
people think, a lot of people think that it either it came easy or you had some sort of gimme. Yes, the backgrounds may have been rough, but you caught a break or something, this and that, right? Some people don't understand the hard work part of it. And there's a lot to those things, right? When people say, well, you just have that opportunity or you got it like that. No, I made it like that.
Connections.
I'll
Fight
never.
connections.
Right, I fought for this and I keep fighting.
Literally.
It's, I
Yeah.
don't know, it's your own drive. Like, junior year, I took 6 AP classes while working.
No, I can't even see you.
So I
can't even take 6
No.
classes now.
And listen, I would go home and
Yeah.
I'd work from like 3 to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Drink it, bust an energy drink,
Yep.
and then do
Yep.
homework from like, I
Yep.
don't know, 11 to 2,
Yep.
and then go to sleep, wake
Yep.
up at 7 and do it again.
Yep.
Wouldn't recommend it for anybody.
And here's the thing,
But
Tatum,
it got
you
me
make it
through.
look good, right? So
Right.
y'all, they don't see the hard work, they don't see the
They don't
grind.
see the tears, maybe.
Right, they don't see the tears, the
When
frustration, they don't see
I
those
don't get my
things.
sleep, I mean,
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I'm not saying that you highlight the grind so much, but you remind people, listen, I worked for this, you can too,
Absolutely.
right? And that's the whole point of this, is that you can say, you have access to the same opportunities, just grind,
you don't have to do it the same way I did it,
no doubt,
but know that you have every means to get where you wanna be.
no doubt,
Absolutely.
no doubt.
I think the one thing that definitely made it like obvious to me that they looked up to me was at graduation. I was the only person, me and my principal, we did a crazy handshake on the big screen. And you just hear the crowd saying, oh my God, come doing a handshake with the principal.
Yep,
And it was
That's
just like,
cool.
it was a surreal moment because it just was
That's
like
cool.
all eyes were on
Yep.
me.
yep. And so here's what I want you to know, that is that you don't, all right, so I said, one of the sayings I like to tell people is the mark of a champion is not winning the belt, it's defending the belt, right? So you got the scholarship, or you got the opportunity, you got the schools, right? But now it's, you gotta keep going because you continue to inspire. So it's one thing to earn the belt, earn the title, earn the whatever it is that you earn, but now you gotta defend that position and keep going. So the grind ain't over.
It's
by any
almost
means.
like the first pit stop, you know?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
we're sitting here and we're not bragging, but we're kind of proud of what we did to get to this point, but we
Right.
still know that we have a
Absolutely.
long way to
Yep.
go.
Yep, I love it. So look, we got questions coming in, y'all. I want y'all, anybody can take this if you want. Make sure you speak up and you own this one. I got Kelly that asked, what scares you most about becoming an adult and starting college? That's a good one.
Scares me the most. I've always been big on family, so being away, it's like okay, it's not that far. It's DC. Put a
Yeah.
little 3.5, but
Depending on traffic and the time of
Depending- I was
day.
gonna say, definitely depending on what
Could be
time.
7.5 on
For
any given
sure.
time on 95.
but every day I'm like going over my aunt's house or going over a different relative's house, being worse, and I can't do that anymore. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, it's about to change.
That's funny. Look, that's a word I ain't heard around in a minute. Worsen.
Worsen?
Oh man, I know
I
that's
say
a
all the
P-Town
time.
Where you
word.
from?
I'm from New York. We don't say worsen.
See, that's
No, we say
P-Town.
worse.
He said P-Town all day. Shout out to P-Town and Worsham. All y'all Worsham folk. So being away from family scares you the most about
Yeah, I think that's
adulting.
it.
What scares you guys about adulting and going to college?
Um,
Now, what excites you? We already figured that.
What scares me the most about college and being an adult is actually having to do things myself. Like certain things, like actually, it's ironic that you asked that because yesterday I had to go up to the campus and like situate my major and like a few
Mhm.
class things and
Mhm.
my boarding contract. So like, I
Mhm.
had to do that myself. Like my
Right.
mom was like, "Oh no, you're gonna go do that.
Yep.
You got
Yep.
it." And I spent like 3 hours there doing
Yep.
that. But it felt good to get it out the way. 'Cause,
Oh, yeah.
like,
But it's nerve-wracking when you don't have a safety net,
Right.
right? Here's the thing about being
Absolutely.
young is that you got your parents in the background. Even though, like this scholarship or school, the 8.7 GPAs y'all got, y'all earned that, no doubt. But there was always a safety net of somebody to catch you and not let you get
Right.
too hurt.
Yeah.
Now you're doing this alone.
Right.
true.
For sure.
That's a lot. That's intimidating. And especially when you start looking at large numbers, you walk into a classroom with 700 people, right? This sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. What scares you about adulting and doing this?
I would say it not being as easy as I thought. I've always had the failure is not an option. You're gonna grind, like failure is not an option. You're gonna
Mhm.
do it regardless type of mindset.
Mhm.
And I know, but in the back of my mind, it's always like, well, what if failure? I mean, like it always could be an option,
Mhm.
even though it's not in my mindset for me. I can't control outside factors. I can't control everything. I can't
Mhm.
control the grade a professor gets or a family situation that might emerge in my third year or, like there are outside factors that I can't control.
Yep. Yep.
And so, that's probably my biggest feeling. It feels
So
like.
I wanted to ask, that was one that was coming to me, Tatum, was, you guys are highly successful already as young people.
I wish.
Do you know what, you wish, what does failure look like, right? Because here's the thing, we know that learning happens the most from failure, right? Not from success, but from
Absolutely.
failure.
Oh.
Right, and so oftentimes people are gonna watch this and they're gonna either think we handpicked you, cherry picked you for a reason, or for whatever. It wasn't that. We never met before today, right? We talked only a couple times, once, right? So what does failure look like, and how do you deal with failure? Because you will fail. You will fail, and I understand that there are lessons. I understand you could put whatever saying on it, but sometimes you just flat out fail. The class, the opportunity, the situation, right? How do you manage that, or have you had to deal with failure before?
Yes, I have. I've taken, I think either 5 or 6 AP classes, not in 1 year. Along the 4 years, I've never passed one AP exam.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, you need the.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yo, now who's the counselor, right? You're like,
Right. I've never passed the AP exam. So like, I got the credit for the class because I didn't fail the class, but I didn't pass the exam. I was like, okay,
Wow.
the school spent all this money to pay for the classes
Yep.
for us,
Yep.
and like I don't pass the things.
It's
And then-
it's like 2-1.
Cause that exam, like literally, the exam is nothing like what
Okay.
you learn in the class.
Listen, and I'm gonna tell you, because I tell that to my students now, like this exam ain't got nothing to do with the rest of your life, but it's still a failure. It's still a barrier almost. It's a hurdle
Right.
that you gotta get through. And sometimes we trip on some of these things. Sometimes the failures are minute, but they're huge because they have a huge impact.
Yeah.
How do you deal with failure? Have you had to deal with it?
I take it as, at least I try to take it as a happy accident and not to like downplay it, but I don't know. I feel like during COVID I took time to like really think about what makes me upset and why, and if
Mhm.
something should have the ability to upset me. And so not everything's gonna work out how you want, but I kind of believe in like God's plan and how everything's gonna fall out to where
Yeah.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so try not to fret. Obviously you do it in your power to, fix the
Right.
mistake or try to make the best of the situation and say, well, this didn't work out. What
Mhm.
can I do to kind of divert, to reroute?
Right. Right.
Um,
I think that's key, Tatum. You have to recognize that the failure happened. It's there. I fell short. I did whatever it was, however you team, and own that part of it. Right. Part of the success is being able to own those shortcomings, those missteps, but it's not staying there. And that's what I think that you're speaking to, right? Those happy accidents or whatever is this opportunity to say, look, I see that, but I'm not staying here. Right. The continued sort of thing, Sean, that says it didn't define me.
I
Right.
missed it, now what?
Now what?
Right.
Right, and it's the now what that's gonna keep you driving, and I hope you hold on to that, because it's those failures and those now what that figures out the next step, and it's that next step that's key. Absolutely. So what about failure for you?
Well, personally, I think that failure is more so a concept.
Man, you're gonna get deep
Filter
now.
So,
mindset.
yeah. But no, seriously though, failure is more so a battle of strengths and weaknesses for me. You know what I'm saying? Some things you just won't be good at naturally. You gotta understand that. You gotta lean on your strengths more than you're gonna weep on your weaknesses.
Yeah.
So as far as school went, I always knew I was never good at math.
Yeah,
It's never me,
yeah,
ever. I'm talking about like
I feel you.
I ended up passing this year, but it just was never a strong suit for me.
Right.
But I knew I was always good with the reading and literature and
Right.
comprehension and things like that.
Right.
So I would always make sure I excelled so high in those things that it would even
It
out
almost
how bad-
overshadowed, right, it
Exactly.
overshadowed the failure part. And now again, it's not that you ignore that they are there, you just recognize, I don't need to dwell on those, right?
A big
I like
victory
that.
is always going to overshadow a small
I
loss.
like that. Let's check this
You
question
like
out.
that?
Wait, say it again, all right, repeat it.
Let's
A big
start here.
victory,
I
what?
said a big victory is always going to overshadow a small loss.
Good.
Get it, boy, get it. Gonna be on a billboard, on a shirt. Y'all better quote that. Better tag him in wherever quote you put it on, right?
Sure.
Might get that yadded.
Yeah,
Okay. This is how y'all know this ain't script, because I'm like, all right, man. Look, I got one coming here. Keep the questions coming, yo. This is Life Change Lounge. Y'all are doing a great job, by the way. You're like naturals at this. I've got a question from Noah here. He said, "What does support from your parents look like?" And as you deal with like the support from your parents, like what did it mean, right? Both good and bad. And why you smiling? You already know.
Because I already know that's probably my stepdad.
I mean, I ain't saying that. I just said shout out to Noah with the question. What does support from your parents look like?
Shout out to him. Support from your parents looks like those days where you. I ain't got no choice but to answer this straight.
So you better answer it right.
Straight.
Because support don't look like your bags is outside.
All right,
You're moving early.
It's crazy.
But support for your parents looks like those late nights when you sitting up in your room, in your own head, and they check in on you and they tell you, hey, it may not look like you got it in right now, but you can do this. And you know what I'm saying? It may not look like you know where you're going, but let me show you the path you could. Let me show you where you could go with this. Let me give you something let me give you a word of mind, or just, you know what I'm saying, a little jewel for thought that's going to open your mind.
Does it have to come from you, or does it have to come from them? Right? Like, because there's a difference, right?
I feel like
Oftentimes, my kids will tell me, like, I didn't ask for this. You're like, whoa, hold on a second.
the thing is, okay, I always, because my mom is one of those people where it's like, she'll tell you something extra and you'll just be like she'll give you the good stuff and then she'll add that little extra in there and you just be like, I mean, I didn't really need that. But then as
I don't
it
know what you're talking. We
registers,
never do that. None of us ever do that.
but as it registers later on, you're like, maybe I did need that. Maybe that
Right.
was just that little just to aggravate me on purpose, just to be like, oh, I gotta do that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I think the support from your parents looks like being a foot deep in your hind parts to make sure you're doing what you got to do to get
So
to
that's I was waiting for that to come out, Sean, right? Because the support is not just these positive, happy. You could do it, like give me a hug,
No,
like,
absolutely not.
right? Sometimes it's getting all up in your stuff and be like, yo, what's up,
Sometimes it's like, what are you about to do with your life?
right?
You got 6 months.
Because support has to come almost like in a challenge. Oftentimes when we're very strong at something, right? You guys are strong academically, strong in other parts of your life. People don't want to step to us, or they can't, right? They don't feel like they can step to us and challenge. But support from adults and from parents looks like a direct challenge to say, yo, what's up for real, for real? And I do have the cojones to ask you this question and to challenge you on it. Because some people don't like to. They don't think they can hold a candle to you. Go ahead. Now go ahead. Now you got it. You riding with this
Well,
one.
to that one, I say, the way I see it is like, have you seen Black Panther before? So you know how, like, recipes Chadwick, but you know how they, to challenge the king, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be king, you got to challenge the king.
No doubt.
And so the way I see it is, I'm open for all challenges, and I just don't. You're not gonna beat me, but I'm open to all challenges. Whether it's, you know what I'm saying, something you really want to bring to me, something you want to open my mind to. I'm open to anything that can challenge my wisdom and my thought process. But I'm gonna conquer it.
So now look. So support will be for something that's taking you in the right direction. He's like, yo, I got that one. But what about support for you, even though it's not in agreement with where you think you should be going? Could be your major, could be your significant other, could be the car you drive, could be the job you have, right? Sometimes support is support, but it don't look like support because it don't agree with or align with something that you already planned out for yourself. And it's still support from us. Y'all didn't think I could get them quiet.
I'm
see?
on a roll.
One more time. Hit me.
Sometimes support is support, but it doesn't align with, doesn't agree with where you thought you needed to go or the choices you were making, but it's still support.
Right. Okay.
What do you do when there's a discrepancy? What do you do when they don't align?
That's bouncing off what he said earlier about that little part at the end. That's like, okay, I'm gonna come back to that because you probably were right. But I mean, if it's something different, if it's a discrepancy that, okay, I know they want the best for me. I know that they're like, okay, they might not agree with what I say, but they're saying this not to diminish me, but to like help me out later on in the journey. So I'm always open to new thoughts, new different ways. I always see it from a different perspective, never judging too fast.
Yeah. Okay. That's
I
fair.
agree, but I also feel like there's two sides. You should be, sure of yourself enough to know when you can say, no, I'm right. And I
Mhm.
just think of the times that I talk to my aunt, and sometimes she'll give me advice, and again, I don't want to hear it, but sometimes we'll think back on it and they'll be like, actually, so I ended up taking your advice. But there's other times she'll be like, I really think you should do this, and I'm like, no,
Mhm.
I'm not like that, obviously. I'm not.
Gotta hold that, auntie. Go ahead, go in on it.
But like, no, I trust myself. I'm sure of myself, and I know that this is what I want. This is the decision I want to make, and
Right.
I'm 100% on it.
Right.
Even if I'm not 100%, if I feel like what I think is what's best for me,
Mhm.
I mean, that's what I'm gonna do
Mm.
because I have to trust myself.
That's funny. So here's something you got to know. So I get to speak a little bit of this to you guys. Sometimes we support you and we want to challenge you so we can build this confidence in you to be able to stand up for what it is you believe or what you think is right. And we will support you enough to let you fail. Right? And that's the funnier part because even in those moments, we let you fail on purpose so that you can learn how to deal with failure, how to deal with being able to pick yourself up and see where the missteps were. But it doesn't mean that we didn't support you. You know, and that's the crazy part because sometimes that's where the argument comes in. It's like, why didn't you tell me? Or you saw this coming the whole time? Or why didn't you should have pushed it? Nah, sometimes it's the support to say, I support you enough to let you do that and learn.
I do agree with that. As far as okay, I'll put it this way. So when it comes to support in the aspect of like, why'd you let me get that far? Like, you know what I'm saying? For a time I did point the finger at like my parents and stuff. It was like, oh, why'd you let me get this low? Why'd you let me get this sad? Why'd you let my GPA drop like this? But then it was like, I can't blame them too much. I go to school for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I definitely get that.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you gotta mature enough to be like, maybe not all the weights on them. Sometimes I gotta take some
He
accountability.
said sometimes. Y'all remember earlier in this interview, he said, you know, I look at me for inspiration. But sometimes I got to take the credit. Sometimes I got to, you know, it's funny how y'all are still.
Everybody plays their part, but at the end of the day, you got you to lead.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I-
Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't want to change the subject,
No, go
but if I
ahead.
can, I want it to go back to what support looks like from your parents. And I was just thinking about how my mom checks my homework religiously every single day from the time I was in like kindergarten to 6th grade. I could not go at night. Like I'd be like, okay, I'm out of it today. She'd be like, where's your homework?
Yep.
And I mean that
Yep.
has gotten me where I was. That made me care about school. I needed to do good.
Yeah.
But also my dad was very like the emotionally supportive one, the one where
Gotcha.
like he still texts me like once a week and he's like, hey, I'm just thinking about you, like I love you, blah blah blah, like let me know if you need anything.
Yeah.
And even if I don't need to talk to him, even if I don't need that, to know that it's there and to know that if I ever feel some type of way, if I need advice, if I need that love, then it is open arms for me, you know, and that I can receive it. So
That's
there's
cool.
the emotional one and there's the, you know, accountability, academic type one.
Mm-hmm. So now look, so here's a question. It kind of came through piggybacking. Get it! Bless you.
So we
She was dainty about it. She was very pretty about it. She made it look nice.
I gotta sneeze.
Man, you know, we didn't need it flying all over the place over there.
Next time up.
So let me ask you this. So that's the support, that's the challenge, that's the whatever. What will support look like when y'all leave in August and whatever and go to your respective schools? And you don't think that it's the quote that the question came in as was hovering or still the umbilical cord attached, right? What will support look like from far away?
I'm down the street.
Support's gonna look like you bringing your laundry home. Is that what you're saying?
Support's gonna look like, hey, so I'm not gonna pay $365 to do my laundry. I'm gonna come down the street real quick.
Guess what your support gonna be look like? Oh yes, you are, and you're gonna pay your own $365. It might be. What does it look like that's not hovering, right? Because parents are worried. We're worried about hovering and sort of like still checking your homework and your grades, but there's got to be a disconnect in the
Like
place.
a set of boundaries, like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
about to do this adulting thing. You gotta trust me a little bit for this.
Mhm.
But then it's also like, okay, I
Mm.
mean, they already said they're gonna be at Howard all the time, at DC all the time. They already got their rooms for homecoming.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Dog, they already got their rooms.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know
Yeah.
if anybody want to
That's
go to
crazy.
NYU.
Crazy.
I'm telling you, if you went to like University of Montana, I don't think they'd be trying to.
That's
you know.
crazy.
They
Didn't
don't
even know they had school.
I
thought it was
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Just
thought it
saying.
was like corn and stuff.
Yeah, corn in Manhattan.
Montana.
No, in Montana.
Oh,
See, look
my
at
bad.
you.
That's on me. That's
What does support look like in New York? What does it look like in Hampton, right? What does it look like when it's so close, but it's not hovering?
Yeah.
Like, cause you don't really want them
Yeah.
creeping. We don't want creeping parents.
Y'all are about to, but although I'm 7 hours away from here, my aunt that I was talking about and my
Mhm.
grandparents, they're an hour away.
Oh,
They're
okay.
an hour away.
Okay.
And so support looks like not coming.
You got it.
I told, I knew it. I told them how they're gonna react.
She got a care package.
Yo, and we were about to get to that question next. The
I
care
told
package.
y'all.
That's what I want to know.
So support for me looks like not coming to New York or every weekend, but
Mm-hmm.
hey, do you mind bringing me this? Or hey, I really
Mhm.
don't feel like
Mhm.
sharing a room with somebody. Can I just come home for the weekend? Or do you
Okay.
mind if I bring some friends over with me?
Okay.
Or, just
Okay.
kind of giving me, and also reading my essays because she will still do that in college.
You think? Are you gonna ask her to, or you think she's gonna do it automatically?
What? I'm sending that
I'm
shit in
sick.
off the rip.
Right? Listen, you got the email?
You
So-
have a degree.
Yo, some of us don't need to get. We got our own lives to live. You know
I
that,
hear
right?
you.
Come on.
But you still gonna be a parent though.
No,
You
for
gonna get
real.
your license.
Y'all hear this, right?
And yo, by the way, it's due at 11:59. So.
Nothing is worse than
Mess.
that 1 a.m. Did you turn this in?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Because that's when you gotta hit them with the 2 a.m. Can you read this?
No, remember that message I told you a little earlier, that sometimes we will support you enough to let you fail and do your thing and take the licks.
At 1 a.m., you're gonna have to catch
Mm.
me. What?
So now look, so you spoke about it, the care package, this and that, right? Kelly wanted to know this, and some people want to know, what would be the best things that would make you smile when you get that package, right? We do still use snail mail, and they'll send you the package of goodies, or a package of something. What can they send you? Top 3 things, or top 2
Top
things, or
3.
one thing that they can send you that you'd be like, yo,
Top
what's
3.
up?
Top 3 for somebody. I feel like some like some shoes. Definitely some shoes.
Every time they send you a package, they gotta send you shoes? Are you serious right now?
That'll just make me like, oh
Man,
yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to send you none. I ain't sending you no
That'd be
shoes.
like, oh, you think about me for real, thanks.
I'm thinking cereal. I was
Oh,
thinking
cereal.
cookies. You thinking shoes?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yo, I
I can
clearly.
grab cereal from the house. I can walk to the house and go get some cereal.
He said, "Give me a pair of ones."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yo,
Like,
if
Some
you really love me,
clothes.
If you really love me, I'm gonna need about
That's in my
3 bands off
I
you.
don't know.
3 bit.
3 bands is great.
And tuition.
Man, what happened to kids today? This is insane. 3
Mr.
bands.
Noah,
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
look,
No, Mr. Noah, 3 bands. Let's just define what 3 bands is. In case does he know what 3 bands?
3 bands would be
What? Yeah,
$3,000.
Okay, so does he know that that's what a support package looks like? Man, I swear to you, I wanted.
Parents, bro.
Let me tell you, I wanted peanut butter crunch, Chips Ahoy.
What a crunch.
Yes.
Did
this
you
is
get 3
what-
things?
Yes, I wanted in my package when you get the little box, right?
Oh.
I wanted peanut butter crunch, Chips Ahoy, right?
Nah,
I know
I want some
I
dunks.
want.
1970 starter pack.
No, I didn't think that. See, times have changed clearly.
No,
What?
I want
Go
a
ahead.
handwritten note,
Okay, thank you.
kombucha.
Mm.
Wait, hold on.
How old are you?
Kombucha's so good.
Kombucha. Okay, I'm going with you. I want to. Let me hear this. Okay, what else is in this box?
Alright, come
If they're doing like overnight shipping, some sushi would be nice.
I
Or
just said
they
some
send me, sometimes they send me cookies. It's really nice. They send me like chocolate chip cookies.
Me personally.
Okay, home baked or like?
No, my aunt's job, best cookies in the world.
She said
Like,
with the kombucha. Yo, with the kombucha. Okay, okay. What's in this package? Other than the shoes, because I can't with Jaden. Right? Some obviously affordable things. Just
Alright, some I mean,
They
Three
can
bands
afford
isn't
these things.
affordable? What?
no, like,
okay. You know our standards are a little different
I
when we
ain't
get a
know you
little
get
older.
no money. Hampton ain't give out no money.
Who ain't?
Oh, you got money for Hampton?
What's in the package? I want to know what's in the package. What's in the box?
I can't think of my other two.
Ain't nothing else in the
Like-
box. Yo, just some shoes.
I mean,
I'm gonna send you shoes and no laces. Watch.
no, that's crazy.
See,
Oh,
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make you buy your own laces.
Shoes with no soles.
That's right. I'm gonna make you buy something.
Hey,
I would
Yo,
go
this
to
is
Walmart
crazy
and
right
get
now.
Dr. Scholl's
Doctor
soles
shows.
Not
and get crazy. Comfortable and all.
Man, clearly my care packages were
Medicine.
different back then.
I got allergies bad.
Okay,
that'll
thank
hit
you.
me up.
tissues.
Yeah, some Kleenex. I don't know what else.
Some NyQuil.
Yo, I just want y'all to know. Listen, this is a straight up shout out. Who is this? TK? TK said 3 bands like 3 rubber bands. That's all you
That's
gonna
my
get in
mom.
that box.
That's my mom.
She said you get 3 rubber bands.
Yeah.
That's the only bands you get.
No.
Yo, if y'all gonna send a package to any of your college kids that are going off, clearly we have shoes to kombucha to peanut butter crunch is all I wanted.
I say chocolate chip cookies and a handwritten note. Y'all,
What you
so
want?
grateful.
What do I want
Yes.
in my care package? Shree bands. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not-
That's one
If you get
thing.
two, it's not
I'm
enough.
just joking, but no, I seriously, clothes. I love clothes.
Okay.
I think I'd be fine on shoes. I know how to style different types of shoes easily. So like what I brought with me, I can, and even if I didn't bring a pair of shoes.
Wow, I can't.
So,
I
I
so
probably
can't wait
close.
to invite y'all next year to hear how this conversation goes, and it's a little different.
I think I would like a note too.
I know it would be kind of nice. See, handwritten.
And a
It's
hug.
really cute.
Send you a hug. Wow, that'd be cool. So send a hug.
Yeah,
All right, so look, we've got about 5 minutes or so. We started a little late, but y'all, we've been rolling. Y'all know that, right? Like
Yeah.
time flies when you're having
It
fun,
really does.
right? I want y'all to know, Life Change Lounge, highlighting the scholarship winners. We talked about where you're going. We talked about what the care package would look like, where this future will take you. Here's the wrap-up question, the only other scripted one, and then you can do all the shout-outs and everything else, right? But to me, life change means what? That's what I ask all my Life Change Lounge
You
guests.
got it.
To me,
Oh,
life
I got
change
it.
means what?
Life change. Life change would be.
Actually,
You started it. You started it. So I was like, oh, he finna go.
He got it, right? Like you
Yeah.
about to
He
say
got
it,
it. Wait,
right? Like everything. Like
It's like a reaction. Life change is like something that happens, a scenario that happens that impacts you, that makes you want to. It can be positive or negative, but that makes you want to do something different than what you've been doing. Then that makes you like, okay, something got to change, and it got to change because of this reason, whether that was good or bad.
Okay.
That's what life change.
okay, so life change means that something's got to change. Okay. To me, life change means what?
Okay, I got you. Let me see if I can kind of put my thoughts in one clear, cohesive statement. But I think there's a start point and an end point, and I feel like a life change is noticing something that you want to most likely you don't like or that you want to change. And hopefully, life change is something positive.
Mhm.
But you see something that is not making you happy, and you realize
Mhm.
or you try to find a way to change that for the better and make point A to point E something.
Mhm.
Point A to point E.
Point-
Point A to point
A
B.
couple letters.
Yeah, she just want to go straight to E, right?
From point A to point B, meaningful, to make it meaningful.
No
Yeah.
doubt. All right, something meaningful. I got you. To me, life change means what?
Mindset and determination and dedication.
Okay.
All three of those things are what you're gonna need to mix up to actually change something for
Yeah.
yourself.
But
And
I
a
love
little
it.
bit of motivation.
You definitely don't need 3 bands to make life change. So.
What? Shree bands are changing.
Yo, so this is your opportunity to be able to give the shout outs, the highlights, those sort of things. And with that, what you would say to somebody that wants to be in this position, right? Somebody who may be applying next year, somebody who's looking at trying to get, take off to school, your classmates, whatever. What would you tell them, and how would you highlight and shout out your own stuff and your own people? Like, talk to them.
All right, shout outs, mom, dad, and my aunt. My dad, he's always, no matter where he's at, like he's always on my back, just making sure I'm good. And then I feel like too, the inspirational thing, it's not really about the destination, but it's about the journey. So, like she said earlier, just because you didn't make the same accomplishments that you made and hit the same milestones that you made, like at the same time as us, it doesn't mean that you can't at all. So I just feel like take that.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Shout outs, how can, who you want to highlight, who you want to say, yo, thank you, or, how will people, be able to be inspired by you?
Well, to start off with shout outs, obviously my parents, my grandparents, words are not coming for me today. But obviously my Aunt Vicky, who I've talked about probably 1,000 times all day here.
Yo,
Yeah, Aunt Vicky.
Send me the cookies. Vicky.
And advice I have to people who are going to be in our position: one, apply early decision to schools. Second, I didn't.
Yeah.
Early,
No, but I like this advice.
No, yeah, early action, early decision, whatever.
I like
Apply
that.
early, and find things that you're passionate about and go with it. Join clubs, but make it meaningful. And when you're writing your essays, don't try to be someone who you're not. be true to yourself, and have faith in who you are. Don't try to make up a story, a sob story. Write about how you actually feel.
Yep.
And have fun with it. I mean, you'll end up where you're supposed to be, and if you don't, you can always transfer. But you'll figure it out.
Tatum, the thing that made you guys stand out was that you were real. Your stories were real. It wasn't like this sort of hard press. It wasn't the worst that we heard. It wasn't the best written, but it was the real heart that we saw coming out in all of you. So that was huge, is to be able to just be you.
Trust God too.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that part.
Big God.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, go ahead.
Big God.
He said big guy.
Okay.
Shout outs, and how can they find you? How would you, inspire whoever's looking at you?
This will be camera, right?
Nope, that's a camera.
That's
Shame. Yeah, we just.
I was pointing at. Okay,
You
so
know.
for y'all at home, shout out to my mom, dad, shout out to the whole family, shout out to all the Portsmouth.
Yeah, there you go.
Shout, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out.
Crenshaw.
Shout out Parkview. Shout out
Oh,
Churchland.
y'all going into the
You know what I'm
hoods
saying?
now.
Shout out the hoods. Shout out Churchland. Shout out
Man.
Midfield Parkway, because that's where a lot of my time was, spent. Shout out Manley Street. Shout out all the peoples. This is for everybody who's ever supported me and was, pushing me. This is whoever look up to me. So shout out to Phoebus. Shout out to my, underdogs at Phoebus. And so, I was finna hold on. And
I swear.
big shout out.
There you go. Lock in.
Big.
Can I walk up on the camera a little bit?
Dude, I mean,
Lock
bro,
in.
it's your time.
Lock in.
This is
Big
your
shout
time.
out to
Lock in.
Mr. Price.
Mr. Price.
Shout out, Mr. Price.
Yes, sir.
Bro, you get the digits.
Big shout out to Mr. Price. You showed me the way. You helped me learn who I need to be. You showed me who I need to be. You showed me what I can be. So big shout out to you. Big inspiration. Mike, when I get to the point where I can make a production company my own, like nigga, Price.
Yo, Mr. Price, this is how you're gonna know he actually believe in you, man. When he send you tree band.
He gonna get 300.
300
But equally important, shout out to my friends, because I
Yeah,
don't
of
think
course.
I've never experienced this much support in my life.
That's
like,
cool.
they're probably the best people I've ever met.
That's cool. Man, I'll tell you, y'all three have really given me just hope, given us all hope to see that there is young people that really want something, young people that want to make changes, young people that want to be about something. It's
Jaden
amazing.
Smith.
Man, all the way.
Oh my
Look, but
God.
he's the real Jaden, right? Look, just to show y'all, look, this is the check, right?
Yeah.
The check
Yeah.
that Jaden gonna get, right?
Real
This is
Jaden
one of
Smith,
many.
The real icon living.
Yo. The real icon. Yo, and that's just one step of many. I just want y'all to know, man, I always enjoy doing these interviews, but I enjoy so much talking to you guys as young people, man, because it's just cool to hear your story, hear the passion, hear just the excitement that is going to be of what's to come. I fully believe in y'all. I pray that y'all will remember Life Change when y'all make it big, right? But that you just know that this was just one piece of many, many other sort of pieces that help push you to where you were getting to. So thank you for giving us the opportunity. Thank you for blessing us with this opportunity to be able to talk to you.
It was definitely fun.
I definitely had fun.
Okay.
In due time, I'm gonna send y'all Shree Band so y'all can bless somebody
I
else.
need 300 bands. To Tatum, to Tatum, to Sean, to Jaden, and to everybody watching. That wraps up Life Change Lounge. Please feel free to continue to send in the questions in the comments. We will get it to these guys. You can find them all over socials and everything else too. Not on Facebook because they're young, not old like me.
Facebook.
I bet.
Just don't use it.
Check it once a year.
Socials
Right.
Birthday time.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the socials.
Socials. Instagram _Jaden Smith.
There you go.
Talk to him.
Give them the socials if you
Where
want.
It's Tati S. Simone.
Mhm.
How we spelling that though?
Mm.
Talk to me.
TATI. And then
Mhm.
S. And then SIMONE.
Yeah,
Say
lock
it.
in, lock in. All right.
Okay, so Instagram, Cub the Hunter, KUBBDAHUNNA. Talk to me.
Okay.
That on TikTok too. So yeah.
Man, I love y'all.
I be bored.
You could have kept that one to yourself.
It might
Hey yo, this is Life Change Lounge. It's been an honor and a pleasure, y'all.
Thank
To
you.
everybody watching, we appreciate your time. We out. So thank you.
I'm stuck like this.